everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral. Let's go viral then.
Say less.
Let go.
Let's embrace it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. And let's give them the experience of their life. That's Roswell for you, baby. Come together. And guys, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to share and dance like you just don't care. It's early in the morning. Let's have a day. And like I said, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS.
Good morning and welcome to Speaking Out Loud. I am your host, Rene Ruiz. And as you can tell, it is hoodie season. The weather has turned. Fall has fully presented itself with the slight shade of a little bit of the winter. I thank you guys for joining me this morning. Joining me soon will be the one, the only, John Borba. But a lot of news to report yesterday. You're probably asking, what's this on my hat? Or what's this on my head? You're probably thinking, oh, Renee's jumping on another bandwagon. No. I'm staying within the city of the team I love, and I'm joining the Dallas Stars for the rest of the year in hockey, which we came up with a big win yesterday. 3-2 in overtime behind our goalie, Mr. Oddington. Oh, my sister's going to kill me for saying that incorrectly, but Oddinger. What a dog. He's the goalie. He's my sister's favorite player, slowly becoming my favorite player there in the goalie spot position. I give my sister a hard time. I try to rage bait my little sister just a little bit with the hockey thing because I'm slowly starting to learn all the rules and all the gimmicks in hockey. I have watched hockey before. When I was younger, I was a Dallas Stars fan. Shout out to Miss Crocker, who was my second grade teacher. She was a German lady, and she was what football is to me back in second grade, if I remember correctly. I had her back to back years, first and second grade, so I really got to know her. She would always rock a Dallas Stars jersey. I remember like the Mike McDonald's. If you guys remember, hockey used to have like a similar game to like NFL Blitz. I forgot what it was called in hockey. I don't know if Jay, maybe you remember, but it was similar. It was similar to NFL Blitz. So like the hockey player would catch on fire. You could throw down during the game. Um, the puck would get on fire when you shoot it. The goal would like explode. Blah blah blah. Fun game. If I can find that game, it'd be dope. Right now, I'm into NBA playgrounds. I play NBA playgrounds with my daughters, and right now, boy, we're unlocking a bunch of legends, and we're right now in our season. We're the Golden State Warriors. We got Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, and me and my daughters just made the playoffs. We're the number 2 seed. We are playing on rookie because I am playing with my little 6-year-old, or my little 7-year-old, but we're thriving. I shall say we're thriving. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, Renee, you probably score all the points. No. We probably average about 20 points a game. I probably score about 12 and my daughter scores 8. So she's adding her contributions to the game. So shout out to Analia and Areli for contributing to my my love for video games, for bringing out a little bit of my childness, my inner child. But yeah, great win by the Stars. If you follow my sister on TikTok, she's got this whole thing of crocheting a blanket based off of how each game is playing out. Cielo Salinas on talk. I don't know her exact TikTok. I'm gonna have to pull it up here in just a second. Jay, if you can actually let me know what my sister's talk name is, that would be cool. But other news, NBA happened yesterday. My Warriors went down in a tough one to the Oklahoma City Thunder. That was a game that I would have enjoyed to be at, losing 126 to 102. Based off the interviews that I'm watching, it's like the Warriors sitting at 6-6, and it seems like there's already kind of stuff brewing up in that locker room. There was a lot of finger pointing as of yesterday, and of course, the media is going to stir it up into something more as they were interviewing Steph and Jimmy Butler, kind of saying they were pointing the finger at Jonathan Kuminga. But Cheech has told me since the beginning of the season this team is going to have to make a midseason move for some size, because right now we are very undersized, and it seems like we're playing run and gun basketball. Outside of Steph, if we can't make a shot, We're gonna live and die by it. And currently, right now, we are dying by it. On a skid, sitting at 500 with the Warriors. Another great game last night was the 76ers against the Celtics with a 102-100 victory. Jaylen Brown, boy, it is hilarious what's happening in the NBA with Jaylen Brown and his hair. Seems like anytime he pivots, Jay, you're a Boston Celtics fan. You probably feel this. Buddy with the hairline getting swiped off his head is insane. It's insane work, Jay. Insane work what's happening over there. But uh fun NBA chatter. Let's move on to the sport I love the most, the NFL. Jay, Jay the producer, and all the folks, it looks like the Steelers are finally making some type of move. We would have preferred they made a move there at the trade deadline, but they didn't. So they got to live with what they can get right now. And right now they signed Asante Samuels Jr., cornerback. He's signing with the Steelers practice squad. He will more than likely be elevated to a starter. He was having some health issues, and it seems like everything seems to be clicking for him. If we remember him, this was a confusing. This was actually a confusing. I was a bit confused on why he was a free agent when you dug in. He just had some health issues, and teams were concerned based off of that. But his performance on the field, pretty solid corner. And it's not like they're bringing him in to be their number one corner. They're bringing him in to be 3 and 4, more likely probably in the slot. Asante Samuel, athlete, dog. If we remember his father, one of the goats. And I don't mean to just throw around the goat, but I just want to emphasize on how good the genetics in this kid is. This kid has the potential to make some real noise, and now he's on a defense who has spent plenty of money to improve that roster. So I'm digging this move. I'm digging this move by the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially a defense that has been struggling quite a bit. A defense that we don't necessarily know exactly what they are because they're so hit or miss, so inconsistent, so inconsistent. But this addition will definitely help as they host the Cincinnati Bengals this weekend with with oh, look, perk for my sister's TikTok for a little hockey chat is at CLO_Salinas. I had it right. I just forgot the underscore. Check me out. At it, baby. Shout out, shout out hockey. Shout out the Dallas Stars.
NFL hits. I mean NHL hits.
NHL hits. Oh, hey, if you can find a graphic for me, pull it up.
Yeah.
That would be sick. NHL hits, boys. We're gonna have to, ladies, fellas. We're gonna have to find this game. We are going to have to find this game. I'm telling you, it was one of the most epic games I ever played. Probably one of my favorite games. That was my introduction to hockey. And if you guys remember NFL Blitz, boy, that was a good one. Or even NFL Street. NFL Street. That was that game was that game was fire. Also, hey man, shout out to all the folks who told me happy birthday yesterday. I appreciate y'all. Uh, I felt it. I love it. I appreciate the positive energy. And I encourage you to give that positive energy to somebody else today. Just let them know you love them. I appreciate my wife, my fam. My wife had a little dinner for me, brought all the family over, or most of the fam came over and had dinner with us. And um, yeah, it's just good to have everybody around. It's good to have good energy. Got to hang out with my brother. Um, I want to cherish those moments as much as I can. Life does get busy, so we kind of forget about the important things in life. And yesterday, I was just reassured that I have a circle that I love immensely. They love me back, and they root, but nothing for success for me. But Jay got up this game. Let's see, Jay. What does it look like? There it is. NHL hits 2003. You can see how far we go back here. 2003, back in second grade. Miss Crocker. What a dog. German lady. Ha. I'm telling you, she was a feisty one too, brother. She was a feisty one, Jay. I remember when she come into the games and I'd be like, yo, this lady is crazy. Crazy. Because nobody around me at the time. I didn't know anybody that watched hockey. Like that was legitimately my introduction. So my introduction to hockey was like, wow, this fan base is nuts. These people are crazy. Be like, white folks are wild. Come to find out, we're all the same. We are all the same, baby. You just turn your head over just a little bit to the NFL world, and we're just as bonkers. We're just as nuts. And what's crazy is those were sober thoughts she was bringing to school. And I'm like, damn, that's a lot of energy. A lot of energy from this lady. But I love it, man. That was some good stuff. Got into that game. So one more time, Jay. It's NHL hits, right? NHL hits 2003. Can we buy that game? And yeah, I don't know if we bought it or our Target run saw some little mischief back in the young days, my boy. Good thing we're past that, and I encourage you guys not to be like that. But Asante Samuel to the to the Pittsburgh Steelers. What a pickup! I like it. I think this is definitely going to improve the Steelers. Let's see how fast they're able to insert him. But I definitely think it's a great addition for Steelers. And if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you wake up this morning and you see that, you go, yes, we needed this. We needed some type of hope, because right now, man, the news that's rolling around Pittsburgh is Aaron Rodgers stinks. Jay, people are starting to say, people like Skip Bayless, or even locally, Mr. Billy Quiroz is saying right now, maybe he's washed. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is the Aaron Rodgers of the future and not Aaron Rodgers of the past. Aaron Rodgers of the most elite. Aaron Rodgers, Mr. COVID MVP himself, back-to-back COVID years of just slapping the world around with his COVID takes and his MVP performances. Some people are actually thinking he's washed, and maybe when you watch the game and you watch that offense, you think the same, but then you also revert back to how has the Pittsburgh Steelers offense looked years and years and years and years behind us. They've struggled. They've looked lackluster. They've looked how they do now, where it's like they can't get anything together. And that's why we were so hard-headed about the Pittsburgh Steelers making a move before the trade deadline. We were asking for them to get some help for Warren there in the backfield. Why wouldn't you want a dynamic duo? If you had the opportunity for it and you already showed that you're all in, your window is this small because Aaron Rodgers is 41 years old. So you would assume that they would have put all their chips on the table, because it felt like they already did. It's not wasting, but spending that money on DK Metcalf, bringing in Aaron Rodgers. Although you could look at bringing in Aaron Rodgers as a discount, but they put their chips on the table, but it seemed like they just had a couple hiding back here. That they were like, nah, maybe we won't need these. And then when push came to shove, when it showed that hey, maybe we do need to make a move, and they still didn't. And now we're sitting here in the same situation, wondering how come they didn't bring the help, because DK Metcalf, for whatever reason, can't create space himself. Outside of a straight fly route, I don't know how effective this team has been offensively. And maybe I'm a little crazy there. And maybe I'm not seeing it right. And maybe I'm not watching enough Pittsburgh Steelers. But for me, it feels like the issues are right in front of us. And I think we're pointing the finger at the wrong person here. Because what the Steelers continue to trot out is the same product. And you're asking more from a 41-year-old quarterback. And I understand you're probably thinking, well, that's what we brought him in for. Okay, but if you didn't watch the last season in New York, if you would have watched the last season in New York, or just done a tad bit of research, you would have realized that New York Jets offense was starting to click there towards the end, but they had help. They had elite. Garrett Wilson right now is at a higher tier than DK Metcalf. He was able to create space. He was able to create openings. They had Lazard, Brees Hall. And right now you're seeing a similar thing with the Steelers of the past, where it's like, what can this offense create anything of significance or anything creative? And then you think, well, Aaron is getting older. We need a better running game. And then you think, wow, their offensive coordinator is Artie Smith, someone that couldn't even make something of Bijan Robinson. was holding him back. So really, my finger pointing goes to Artie Smith. I think this is really mostly on the offensive coordinator. The offensive issues are continuing because the Steelers have yet to find an offensive coordinator that can be creative enough to scheme these guys open, and they're just relying on dudes to win one-on-one matchups. And right now, I don't know that that's the recipe for success for Pittsburgh Steelers team with the wide receiver who can't create space in DK Metcalf. And with that being said, let me bring on the one, the only John Borba to react to what is going on. JV,
What's going
Asante
on?
Samuel signs with the finger pointing to me feels like it should go towards Artie Smith. I don't think we should necessarily quite overreact to Aaron Rodgers being a bust, even on the skid that they're on right now. I do think that Artie Smith needs to find some creativeness to scheme these guys open. What are your thoughts on Asante Samuel signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers and a response to what I had said?
Sante Samuel on the Steelers. I mean, it's a good pickup for them. They need to get young in the secondary, so I can see it paying big dividends like later on down the year too. Obviously, he's healthy, so that's not really a concern anymore. You just got to get him up to speed now. You got to get him in game shape. So I think obviously, like as like a Vikings fan, I would have loved him in our secondary. I'm sure there's a lot of teams that would have loved him in their secondary. So overall, it's a good
Us too.
pickup. And it's good for guys that are getting up in age. You got Darius Slay, who's playing a little bit of corner, a little bit of safety as well.
Just got hurt
Um,
too.
so overall, it's a good pickup. I think it's going to help later on down the year, especially this is more for maybe later on in the year, but also in the future as well. So you're going to have Joey Porter Jr. and then you're going to have Asante Samuel, two up and coming corners in the league. So overall, pretty solid signing. As far as that offense and their struggles and their issues, I think there's multiple issues to be had. Yeah, the offensive coordinator obviously is one to blame. Um, the offensive line isn't too great. You have a decent running game, but you don't really have a two-headed back, a two-headed monster in the backfield like a lot of these other teams do that have better running games. DK Metcalf is not a route runner. He's never been a route runner. He's been a speed guy, a physical type, down the field type of guy. His route running just hasn't been the greatest to create that type of separation. So guys a good corner can stick with a receiver that's running short intermediate routes that are not the best at selling the routes or not the best at creating space between him and the corner. So there's issues with that. And then who's the second guy? You don't even know. I mean, Calvin Austin, you don't even know the receivers' names over there. So there's like inefficiencies for sure. So it's like obviously the defense is playing not like how we thought it would. And I think they expected the defense to carry this team a little bit more than it really has. And so that's an issue too. I don't think this team can play from behind. They can't catch up. There's just multiple issues. And that's why Vegas has the Ravens to win this division. I mean, and you see the Ravens getting better every week. They have less inefficiencies. More explosive per play. There's just I don't know. The Steelers are just the Steelers. They're playing for 9, 10 wins, maybe a wild card berth. I mean, you got like literally at this point, we could be looking at in 2 weeks. The Steelers could be a 7th seed, and you got Kansas City breathing down their necks. If they can go on a run, you got a couple other teams in the wild card hunt that are looking to make some moves. The Jaguars are still the 7th seed right now, but Kansas City's looking to take that spot. Pittsburgh's falling out. I don't know. It's going to be hard for the Pittsburgh to make the playoffs, I think, at this point. Like, it's going to be very interesting to see. And then you got the Bengals that might be, with Joe Burrow coming back week 13, supposedly is his timeline to return back to the games. If Joe Flacco can win 1 or 2 games where they're maybe, I don't know, 5-7, who knows, by the time week 13 comes around, anything's up for grabs at that point. So I really don't.
You legitimately feel like maybe Pittsburgh doesn't make the playoffs?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, I think
Okay.
there's too much on the back end. I mean, the Chiefs, they're gonna go on a run. The stock is low on the Chiefs, but I'm buying. I'm buying
All
all
right,
day.
let's go through it real quick. AFC. Let's go through the AFC. Let me pull up the playoff picture just so that way we have an accurate look at it real quick. But start thinking of your AFC playoff standings here while I pull this up, KJ, because I get where you're coming from, and just based looking at their schedule here, they do still got to play the Browns twice. They got the Lions, they got the Bills, but outside of that, I mean, they got Bengals, Bears, Dolphins, and Browns. So they could definitely get 4 more. They're sitting at 5 wins now, so they get to 9. So I think similar to the NFC how we said. 10 wins, right? Probably 10 wins.
Maybe.
Hold on.
I don't know if they get 10 wins. I'm going to be 100% honest. I think Bears can upset them. Browns might be able to split. You never know. You never know with a division game like that. If the Browns can kind of keep it low scoring, it's anybody's game. Anybody's
All
game.
right, so
And how much
let me
pressure
give
they
you
wreak on.
so right now we have the Colts at number 1,
Hmm.
the Broncos, the Patriots, and the Steelers. Those would, as of today, those would
Yep.
be your division winners. And then at 5, 6, and 7 in the wild card, you're sitting with the Chargers, the Bills, and the Jags. So your thought process is that Pittsburgh will be replaced with the Baltimore Ravens, right? So that would
Yep.
drop Pittsburgh down to probably the 7th spot.
They're
So
7.
now in your head, you're telling me that you think Kansas City is more likely to win that wild card spot over the Pittsburgh Steelers, correct?
Million percent. Million percent.
Okay, so your playoff picture looks like this. Indianapolis Colts, do you believe they're going to win the division?
Colts, yes. They're pretty
Okay.
locked in.
And then Denver Broncos, you think they're going to end up winning that division? Still
They
a lot of
have to
season
win
left.
this game.
Only a
They have to win
2-game
this
lead.
game. If they win this game, they're up 3 games. If they win against Kansas City, they're up 3 games. If Kansas City wins, then okay, we might be talking
Then
about
you
something
start to
else.
see the tide turn. Then you
Yep.
start seeing the tide turn. Then we start question. Then it gets loud. Then your buddy Johnny may be 100% accurate about that seat beneath Sean Payton start to get a little bit harder. All of a sudden, that tweet that he got liked by Mims' father, Mims Senior. All of a sudden, that tweet might start to circulate. Maybe we start to question Sean Payton's play calling abilities. Maybe it's just outdated. That's whenever it starts to get loud. After this weekend with this matchup, and I know you're probably like, dude, chill out. Don't overreact. The Denver Broncos are sitting at 8-2. Sure, if all you're doing is looking at a stat sheet, you're looking at this Denver Broncos team, and you're like, everything that I'm hearing on TV, everything that I'm hearing on the radio waves makes no sense when I look at the analytics. But if you watch the games, those are the most ugliest wins that the Denver Broncos can have. Really only putting up 1 quarter. But if you're a Denver Broncos fan, what keeps you optimistic? What keeps the tea stirring there? What keeps the coffee keeping the juice in the brain going is the fact that you have a top 3 defense, and it's probably not 2 or 3 in the league, that's keeping you in games. And all you're waiting for is the fact that this offense was somehow find lightning in a bottle and allow it to expose itself. But at number 3, you got the Patriots winning that division, yeah, over the Bills. They only got a 1-game lead. Regardless, you
I don't
think
know.
two teams are coming out of that division. Is that
Yeah.
fair to say?
Yeah,
Two
2
teams
teams.
are more than likely coming out of that division. Okay, so then you got Baltimore Ravens. Okay, so you got Colts, Broncos, Patriots, Ravens, Chargers, Bills, Chiefs.
Yeah.
Even if the Chiefs drop the game against the Broncos, they'll be sitting at 500. Let's
I
look at the
really
rest
don't
of
think
their
they drop.
schedule.
I would put all my money this week on the Chiefs. I really don't think they drop the game. I don't think they will. I think, and then that
They're in Denver. I don't know. Like, I feel like that has to change. That has to change your thought process just a little. The
no,
fact that
because
they're going on the road.
it's a division game. We just saw Minnesota go into Detroit. These division games at home, away, I don't think it matters anymore. And with how bad the Broncos offense has been in the passing game, I don't think what's going to change? What's going to change if the Chiefs come locked in, they win that game. Promise you they win that game if they come locked in. And then you're looking at what? 6-4 Chiefs, 8-3 Broncos. They have to play again. And Broncos might, if they can't figure out this Bo Nix, Sean Payton passing game situation, they might drop a few. So I could see the Chiefs still winning this division 100%. Like, it's up in the air. I would not think that the Broncos have any lock at the 2 seed or at the 1 seed. If the Chiefs win, they're going to be the 2 or 3 seed. 11, 12 wins maybe. I could see the Chiefs ripping off here at the second half of the season. So I think 11, maybe 12. I think 12 could win you that division. 11, I think you're locked in at a wild card spot. But I just, compared to those teams, compared to the Steelers, I don't know. I would not put my money on the Steelers right
No.
now.
All right,
No.
let's look at the Chiefs schedule just to see what it looks like. You're gonna assume a win, but let's assume an L. So they're sitting at 500. You're saying we got to get to 10, right, to get to the wild card, or you're saying maybe 11. Okay, let's see. So Broncos, so their final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Their last 7 games, you would have to win 5 of those 7, so they can only drop 2. So they got the Colts, then they got the Cowboys, then they got the Texans and Chargers, and then Titans, Broncos, Raiders. So really, their only 2 easy games would be the Raiders and Titans. You could also say the Cowboys if you want to be a jerk, but realistically, we don't know what they're going to look like, and they're probably a team that's going to be playing spoiler, a team that if you play down to their potential can sneak out a win against you, especially a team who's already struggling. So we can't be putting the Chiefs of old. When we look at the Chiefs right now, as we look at this schedule, we got to think of how they're performing currently. Okay, and we're assuming they're coming off a loss against the Denver Broncos, but even if they come off a win, depending on how that win looks, will dictate how we judge the season going forward. Let's say it's an ugly win where the offense doesn't seem to be getting it clicking yet again. That Colts game all of a sudden becomes quite uncomfortable. And then after that Colts game, that Cowboys game on Thanksgiving, all of a sudden became a game where Patrick Mahomes is going to look like an all-pro to holy smokes, if Patrick Mahomes drops this game against the Dallas Cowboys compared to what all the other quarterbacks have done against this defense, all of a sudden it changes the perception on what we have on Patrick Mahomes. I think that's fair to say, right, JB?
You're reaching.
So,
You're reaching so bad. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think they're even in that situation. On Thanksgiving,
no,
I think
I'm
they
talking
steamroll.
hypothetically here.
I think they steamroll.
Hypothetically.
I think they
I'm
steamroll.
talking hypothetically.
I just
I'm
don't
just
see
saying
it.
how loud can the noise get? We're just talking here hypothetically. How loud can the noise get if they lose this game to the Broncos? I think you're 100% right whenever you say that this game, this game is probably the game of the weekend where we should have all our attention on because the implications that it's going to have moving forward, right? All of a sudden, if the Chiefs win, Denver loses, like you said, Denver drops to 8-3, Chiefs moves to 6-4, only 1 game back, and then the Chargers, if they win, they're all kind of tied up there together, and they still got to play one another. The Chiefs still got to play the Chargers, and they're going to play them at home. I like where you're going here. I'm just playing the hypothetical. I'm playing the
Yeah.
hypothetical as to see if with that the amount of pressure that it's going to feel like if the Chiefs lose this game
If
against
the
the
Chiefs
Broncos, because
do
the Colts
lose,
isn't going to be easy. And then
no.
you just got excited about me saying or comparing them with the Cowboys, what the implications could be to that game. But that's true, JB, because all of a sudden, if they drop this game to the Broncos, and for whatever reason, if they were to drop to the Colts, I mean, obviously it's going to get
I
extremely
think
loud. But
then that'd be great.
even if they go 1-1, 1-1, and they go into Jerry's world and they flop, you don't think we're having a conversation about Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs missing the playoffs at that point?
That'd be
Whenever the
huge.
Dallas Cowboys have made every quarterback that they've played against an all pro, and then you play the most elite, the best quarterback in the league, a Hall of Famer sitting right in front of us, living legend in Patrick Mahomes, and he doesn't perform like an all pro against that defense. All I'm saying is eyebrows are going to get a little high. That's all I'm saying, JB.
If they drop 3 in a row,
That's how important this game is.
yeah, if they're dropping 3 in a row, it's over regardless. But I don't see them dropping 3 in a row. Um,
Yeah, for
Could
sure.
go either way. Absolutely. Broncos had a really good chance. Broncos should have swept them last year. It was a blocked field goal last year. Um, but I don't, with the issues that are going on in Denver, with how lackluster that offense is. You got a good running game, but it's just it's good. It's not great. You got a good O line. You got enough weapons on offense, and they're just not taking advantage of it. I think I just really think everything comes together for the Chiefs. I just cannot bet against them. I
Chiefs are the
cannot bet
Chiefs.
against the Chiefs. And Mahomes, I think even in a game against the Colts like next week, still unproven. Of course, unproven Daniel Jones. You're going to get your good games. Obviously, you got your bad game against the Steelers a couple weeks back. They bounced back in Berlin in overtime, but they're being carried by Jonathan Taylor. And at the end of the day, Spagnuolo will create the perfect scheme to stop an offense like that or to slow it down just enough for the Chiefs to like win that game. I would literally, I don't know, man. I feel like I can read the future right here because I think they're going to go on a 3, 4, 5 game win streak. I just feel it. Like the stock is low on the Chiefs. It doesn't look very promising, but I would buy on the Chiefs. Buy these next 3 weeks.
I
Start
like it.
everyone on the Chiefs. I don't care. Like I'm telling you, like it's this team's gonna turn around and they're gonna go on a run. Like they're due for a run. And I think once they get their pieces together, yeah, they've had a rough first half of the season, but I think they turn it around.
The Chiefs,
I really
the
do.
Chiefs are the Chiefs, and the
As much as I
home
hate to say it.
of the
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game, man. I can't wait for it. That's the 2 o'clock. That's the second slate of games. Ah, boy, it's gonna be good. But the Colts, hey, whenever they go against the Colts, that's gonna be a fun one to cover. Because if we remember, Shane Steichen was the start of the Jalen Hurts, of the Jalen Hurts that's upon us today. And I think if you were to have given Shane Steichen Saquon Barkley, I think they probably win a Super Bowl. Because if Shane Steichen, right, we remember that's the one where they got to the Super Bowl and didn't win, right? If I remember correctly, and then the next year they blow it up. Shane Steichen goes to Indianapolis, and then Gannon goes to Arizona.
Yeah.
So this is a team that's familiar with this is a coach that's familiar with that Chiefs team. So uh, it'll be interesting how that plays out. But I think you're 100% right. Let's go Chiefs. I'm on the Chiefs side here. I'd like to see
Gotta
the
be. If I
let's
see the
let's
Chiefs lose,
appreciate let's appreciate greatness.
if I see the Chiefs lose, man, then it's a different story. But I have all my money on the Chiefs. Put everything on the Chiefs. All the chips are in the table. Like, I don't know. I think the offense now Santi said right here, Chiefs are being carried by Pat. I don't believe this offense and the defense carrying the Chiefs without Pat Mahomes. The Chiefs team is last lackluster. Well, I've agreed with that this first half of the season, but Rashee Rice, they really have made a difference. And now with Kareem Hunt and those guys getting started, I think they're allowing Kareem Hunt to run the ball a little bit more. And I think once they get a 60-40 type of balance, 60% passing, 40% running. At the early part of the year was a little bit more passing. You're looking at like 70-30, it felt like. If you can just even it out just a little bit, just get a respectable running game where you have to defend the run and, 4 or 5 yards here on first down, just control the clock a little bit with the running game. I think that's going to make a huge world of difference as well. And like, I don't know. This is just a time of year, man, where it's like
It's-
the winners
You
come
just
out. You know what I mean? The winners come
you've
out.
seen it too often.
We see it too often. We talk crap about all these teams. Oh, they're not the same no more. They fell off. Blah blah. Okay, when the weather starts getting cold, like how we saw in Green Bay, I don't know. You get these these lackluster bums that are at quarterback, like Jordan Love, can't make no plays, and the guys that come through like a Jalen Hurts when it matters, the plays matter at certain point. Like situational football is so huge. People take it for granted. Oh, we lost because of this play. Oh, we lost. Well, this team won because of this play right here on this huge third down or this huge play to ice the game, just to put it out of, in this example, Green Bay's hands. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
winners know how to win, and they can make the situational plays more than a non-winner can. And Mahomes can make the plays to the situational plays to overcome and to maybe ice the game or to put it out of reach. Just I don't know, man. It's just we see it
Yeah.
all too often. I don't know, and I just think I think
You're
it's
riding high on the
in the long
Chiefs.
run.
All right, JB. We might have found your
I
second
don't
favorite
know.
team here.
I sound like a Chiefs homer. I sound like a Chiefs
When
homer
you
right now, man.
when you can't beat them, JB, what should you do? Listen to
You
Kevin
just
Durant.
enjoyed them.
Join them.
Can't beat them, join them.
JB, but speaking of
Yeah.
Jordan Love's lackluster performance, you have been heavy on Jordan Love here. But let's see what Jeff Saturday yesterday had to say on Get Up.
Jordan Love maybe sometimes is too risky, if you will, no risk it, no biscuit kind of thing. And on the other side, you have Jalen, and maybe he's a little too risk averse. But when we were talking about Jordan Love this morning, Jeff, your thought is?
Yeah, he ain't the guy. That's what you're going to get. Like, I appreciate when you see Jordan Love in big moments. At halftime, we're going into halftime. We got 3 points secured. You can't make that decision.
Jordan Love maybe sometimes is too risky.
Wow. Just said it about as clear as day as you could say that. Make that statement, JB. Any thoughts on what Jeff Saturday had to say?
100% agree. I've been saying this all year round. Packers fans are delusional. They've had Favre, they've had Rodgers, and you know what? Just to speak on Rodgers some more, I don't know. Never mind. We'll get back to that kind of crap later. But man, like Jordan Love, his decision making. You talk about a guy that is not making situational plays that win you a game. That's exactly a perfect example. Just stupid. Just stupid, stupid, stupid. You're paying this guy so much. You brought Micah Parsons in. I mean, literally last year the record was 6-3. What's their record this year? 5-3-1. Like, you look at the Cowboys' record last year, 3-6. What's their record? 3-5-1. Where? I mean, this is a wash, Rene. You would love this. Cowboys fans,
I tried to tell you.
dude. We got a bunch of draft picks. Hopefully, Jerry Jones knows how to manage the future, because Packers are never going to win a Super Bowl. I will tell you right now, they will never win a Super Bowl under Jordan Love. And you guys are going to waste another 8, 9, 10 years with Jordan Love and never win a Super Bowl. While I waste another 40 years of my team never winning a Super Bowl. So,
and both statements can be true. One person is just acknowledging it. The other person, the one sitting on the other side right now, pulling their hair about JB, you don't know nothing.
I don't care.
It just might be you not accepting the realization that maybe Jordan Love, maybe he's not it. Maybe the Packers finally missed.
Not it.
Maybe
I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, because he's an above average quarterback.
Yeah, you just be careful the way we're throwing around the word bum. You know what I mean? You don't want to sound like Draymond Green. You don't want to be part of the new media. You know what I mean? Just because we call someone a bum doesn't make them not a good quarterback, I guess. That's what Draymond Green came out and said with his apology, because he's still stuck by his statement, which, hey, it's valid. You know, he just his wording was off, which it really was. Dak isn't a bum, but he's a great regular season quarterback and an average playoff quarterback. I think that's a fair statement to make, because if you look, sure. 2 playoff wins, but whatever.
I don't know.
If we remember against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think we had like 27. I think Dak threw for over 250 yards, but neither here nor there.
Is that what that was?
Neither here nor there. Or whenever we lost to the Packers, Dallas puts up 32 points. Dak does create that comeback over 250 yards. But we're not talking about individuals. We're only talking about the 2 games that they lost when the offense only put up 14 points. I get it. We get to pick and choose what facts we decide to use whenever we are trying to prove our point. All facts can defend any argument, but it's okay. We don't have to go to Dak. We don't got to go to Dak.
Don't the Cowboys have one win? Right, they got 1 win under Dak.
Two. We got 1 against Tampa and then 1 against Detroit.
Oh, Detroit.
Oh, no, with Dak, we only have 1. Because
that's exactly Detroit what I thought. I don't know where Tony you got Romo. This Tampa. Where'd you get this Tampa stat from?
We beat here. Let me pull it up. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dak versus. Hold on. Give me some more Jordan Love
wins. That's what I'm typing in.
let me find out. I was using the wrong Dak. 2 playoff wins in his career. 2018, second, 2022.
2. Yep, you're right. His career playoff record is 2-5.
Yes, and what?
So Dak's got 2 playoff wins. I don't know what the next subject.
Look. Oh my, bro, this is crazy, son. Oh
What?
my, Dak. 2016 playoffs, 24 for 38, 302 yards. Dak in 2018. Damn, why is bro throwing 65 times?
Because
42 for 42 for 65 attempts,
you lose all
492 yards.
composure, man. Some teams just aren't built to make the playoffs certain years. And you get into controversy, and what do? Oh yeah, in 2018, didn't you guys have like one of the best running games? And then like you guys go behind, you lose the lead, whatever, you're trailing, and then the whole playbook just gets thrown out. Dak throw, Dak throw, Dak throw, Dak throw, Dak throw, Dak throw, Dak pick, Dak sack, Dak pro. Like you guys lose composure or something. I don't know, 65 times in a game.
Yeah, that seems nuts. I feel like
Playing for
that's
your
fake.
life. You're
Stat
playing.
Muse might be Stat Muse might be
I don't.
gassing
Is
me
that
up
even
right there because that
accurate?
seems a little crazy, bro. 65 pass attempts seems nuts. We must have been down like crazy. That might have been the comeback whenever we were down to the Green Bay Packers, though, because we did sling that thing. Dak did bring us back there. Let's see. Excuse me.
And then you
Maybe
got
that was.
64
Why is it still
completion
hard?
percentage, 7 interceptions, 14 touchdowns. So he's got 14 touchdown passes to 7 interceptions. Whatever. I
Anyways,
mean,
hey, you
2 and
could
5.
use. More of the story is relax when we're throwing shade at Dak, man. He's always catching strays, but whenever
I'll
you
throw
look
way
at this,
more shade at
whenever
Jordan Love. I'll just say that. I'll throw way more shade at Jordan Love than Dak. 100%.
as you should, as of right now. I mean,
Jordan Love
although
hasn't done nothing.
he does have a win over us. But
He does have a win over
JB,
Dak. That's
let's
true.
move on to reporting a little bit of the news here. Local news. Roswell High and Goddard won last week, or Roswell High had a bye, I believe. Goddard won their game last week, and now they're moving on to the second round of the playoffs, which will be hosted this Friday. Roswell High and Goddard, local teams here in Roswell, New Mexico, have the possibility of battling out against one another. A rivalry that needs to be resurrected, in my opinion. Let's amp it up as a city. Let's amp it up. These boys deserve it. Come on, one of y'all get to a championship. That way we have something to root for locally. Um, in other news, though, Travis Hunter underwent season-ending knee surgery with eyes
Tough.
set on 2026. It was an LCL repair. He's expected to return with 6 months to full basketball activities. If it couldn't get any worse, it's getting bad for the Jaguars. Is this a team that, yet again, you believe is going to miss the playoffs?
I think they will. After giving up that huge lead to the Texans, that's pretty demoralizing. It takes a lot to come back from that. You got the Chiefs breathing down their neck for that last spot, which I think is going to change. There's going to be some stir up the last 4 weeks of the season or so, but I can see the Chiefs being anywhere the 5, 6, even the 3 seed. I can see them being the 3 seed, and the Broncos dropping a few games to where that last matchup between the Broncos and the Chiefs are going to mean something at the end of the year. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes,
Yeah, it
but
looks tough. Jags. I
Jaguars got a
mean,
rough output.
it's going to be crazy to see how loud it gets for Trevor Lawrence after the season kind of plays itself out. The rest of the schedule does look tough. Obviously, this weekend is a massive game for them. I don't think they could drop this game at all, especially after what happened last week with the team sitting at 5-4. You're hosting the Los Angeles Chargers, who seem to be getting things rolling as of last week. Um, Maybe they roll that on to this one and they beat down on the Jaguars. But the Jaguars looking forward after this week. I mean, you got to get a win. You have to get a win. I know you look at the schedule and you're like, all right, maybe maybe we can sneak in, but after the Chargers, you got the Cardinals, Titans, which Cardinals 50-50, but based off the way the Jags are playing, these are all going to be 50-50 games. But your final remaining tough games, you would be able to say the Colts, Broncos, and then the Colts again. I don't know that this team can lose.
I don't know if 10 wins
Yeah, they
gets
got
you
the
in
Colts
the AFC.
twice, the Broncos, and then the Chargers. Those are like their they're tough games. The ones where I would say they're more expected to lose. So you just drop those 4 games, you're sitting at
9 and
yeah,
8.
you already got 8 losses on the season. So for Jags fans, hey, it's going to be interesting how the offseason looks. Do you move forward with Trevor Lawrence, or have you given him enough opportunities? Because the last thing you want to do is make another coaching change out there in Jacksonville and bring in another offensive play caller. I think Liam Cullen has done a great job out there in Jacksonville. It's just the fact that the boys just aren't balling out. Like at some point, we can't just be pointing the finger at the coach every chance we get. Sometimes the players have to take accountability. And as of right now, Mr. Trevor Lawrence, you are underperforming to the max. Your cash value that is put on your head does not match the performances that you're bringing on Sunday. And because of that, my friend, you may end up like one of the biggest thieves in the National Football League, along with someone like a Deshaun Watson, for the type of robbery you are doing on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tighten up. Come on. Come on, Jags. This team could be fun, man. This team could be so fun. Yeah,
Talking
Brian
about the
Thomas
Jags, I
Jr.,
think you say tighten
ETN.
up.
Yeah, bro. Sorry asses, bro. It's a tough
Tighten
look for
up,
the
Cam Ward.
Jags, but yeah, Cam
Hey,
Ward.
who's
Cam Ward
the who's top 5 teams? Power rankings. Who's your top
power
5?
rankings. Well, right now, according to NFL, let me read you the 5 that they got. They got Eagles
Yep.
sitting at number 1, the Rams at number 2, the Colts at number 3, the Patriots at number 4, Seahawks at number 5, and then just knocking at the door of the top 5 are the Lions and the Bills. Do you agree with that, or is there anybody that you would like to move? I'll repeat it for
Man,
you one more time in this order. In the order it is presented, that would be Eagles, Rams, Colts, Patriots, Seahawks. In that order, 1 through 5.
I would rather put the Seahawks at 3.
I would put the Rams at numero uno.
I
Oh,
would
but I
put the
guess they
Rams
have
at
the head-to-head.
1. The only reason I don't want to put the Rams at 1, well, I really want to put the Rams at 1, but the Eagles came back on them. And I mean, I understand the Rams probably should have won that game. I think they got 2 kicks that were blocked. Those are huge. I think, so everybody's gonna get mad when you put the Rams above the Eagles, but I just think the Rams are a more complete team right now. They're very well coached, and right now Stafford on this MVP run. Let's say Stafford goes to the Super Bowl. This is an interesting take too. Let's say Stafford they make it to the Super Bowl in the NFC and they somehow win. Even if they don't make it to the Super Bowl, but okay, my point is these last great generational quarterbacks, you got Stafford and Aaron Rodgers that have 17 plus year careers. I don't think everybody puts Aaron Rodgers on this pedestal. If Stafford makes another run and can possibly win a Super Bowl, I'm putting Stafford above Rodgers all time. Why not?
Hey,
Why not? Why not?
I agree.
That's kind of a crazy
Honestly,
take, huh? It's crazy, but it makes sense. It makes
yeah.
sense.
Well, honestly, not a bad. Okay, I think we just got some content to make there, JB. I think we should compare the 2 careers and maybe come up tomorrow on the show and really have a better perspective on which way we would lean. That's not a bad take at all. Hot for sure, but not a bad take at all. That's actually a good question to bring up and just raise our eyebrows just a little bit. Would you put Matthew Stafford above Aaron Rodgers? Because they equally have, I would say at this point, similar success.
At
Right?
this point, yeah. Why
I
not?
mean, but Aaron Rodgers does have the MVPs to
He does have the MVPs, yeah. But you look at where Rodgers was, Green Bay, he had a lot of good
opposed
teams
to.
and couldn't get nothing done. Stafford, opposite, was on a lot of awful teams, barely made like one playoff appearance. You get them on the Rams, they're in the playoffs every year now. They're in the playoffs every year. And Stafford might get an MVP this year. Right now, I'm giving it to Stafford. Drake May's close. Jonathan Taylor's close. But I think Stafford deserves it for how well the entire team is playing. Like, this is a guy that we were talking about, like, is he even going to play? He's got these back issues that they're being all secretive about. And now look at him. 25 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They're what, 7-2 right now? Like, they're balling. They're balling.
The boys are
Stafford
cooking.
100% is the front runner for MVP right now. I don't care if Drake
Dang.
May's up there. Give it to Stafford. And if he
Welcome.
can win a
I
Super
mean, you
Bowl,
were JB. You're a little late to the Stafford party, but I would love to welcome you with open arms. Me and Kelly Stafford, his wife, we would love to welcome you with open arms to
oh
the
man,
Stafford party. Welcome,
yeah,
welcome to the. If we remember, that's a guy that I've been riding on for a long time, since the Detroit days, when this guy absolutely put an entire city on his back, hurt, wrapped up from knee to knee, from elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder. If you remember the Kobe Bryant pictures, the famous Kobe Bryant pictures of being in the middle of a game or at the end of the game, of how wrapped up he was. Now just put a white Matthew Stafford's head on top of that body, and that's exactly what Matthew Stafford is
like
as a dog. I mean,
if you give pretty good take, right? So if you give Stafford, if Stafford's on the Rams, like, I don't know, instead of what, 5 years ago, you put him on there 10 years ago, he already might have 2 MVPs. Who's to say that he wouldn't,
the
and a Super
the
Bowl?
question you would have to ask is, if you were to put Matthew Stafford on those Green Bay Packer teams, would there be a difference in success? That's the biggest question to ask.
That's
We'd have to
interesting.
go down those rosters. It's a nice rabbit hole to go down, and we will, JB. I'll look into that as of today. Consider that my homework. So after class is over, I will get onto the internet. Which, hey, I like both guys, so I'm in a bit of a pickle here. So I feel like this makes me a great mediator for this situation, because I love me some Aaron Rodgers and I love me some Matthew Stafford. So I won't be biased leaning one way or the other. But
And I will
I
say,
do love the question you bring up.
yeah, how
Offensive player of the
Santiago
year.
said the Lions might have ruined his career. Well, I think like another good run from Stafford puts him in the Hall of Fame. I think he will be in the Hall of Fame, 100%. Because look at his
You don't think
passing
he
catching.
already is? I
I
think
think
that Super Bowl kind of solidified it for him.
I think so too. And I think he's 8th in passing yards or touchdowns. I got to find out all of his stats, but he's very top 10, top 15 in all time already in throwing, passing touchdowns, all these stats. He's very high. He just, like I said, the Lions just, they ruined a lot of people's career. They ruined Barry Sanders. I mean, they ruined Calvin Johnson. Um, the Lions were just not good. The Lions were just not a good team. Didn't have good management. All they had was Stafford to show for it, and Stafford couldn't get nothing done. So that puts a bad name on him, obviously. But I
Hey,
think
they made a
Stafford is
playoff
a Hall
run.
of Famer.
Once they made it to the playoffs one
Yeah,
time.
one run, and then they lose to y'all. So that doesn't say that much.
Hey, I mean, they had another Hall of Famer sitting across from him, and Tony Romo.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something about Tony. I kind of set you up to take a shot there at Tony
I
Romo
know.
if you wanted it. The opportunity
I didn't
presented
want to
itself,
take
but you
it.
didn't take it.
I didn't want to take it,
JB,
but yeah.
there's another conversation right now going on in the league where Amon St. Brown was punched in the face. I'm not sure if you saw that, where Dorrance Armstrong was. I might be wrong here on the defender's name,
Deron
or
Payne. Deron
Javon
Payne.
Kinlaw. Sorry,
No, it's Deron
who
Payne.
was it?
Deron Payne's the one that hit
Deron
him.
Payne.
Payne.
Dang, sorry. Well, there's a lot of speculations as to what may have caused that. RG3 found the footage of what maybe how this situation was a bit instigated. Let's see. Let's have a look. Give him a little shove. Ooh, just a little shuttle, just a little shuttle jab, my guy. Look at this. A little push. What's up, B? Man, shut your mouth. Shut your
Hmm.
mouth, boy. Right in front of the ref. That's actually crazy that at a flag, not even a flag was thrown in that situation there. I mean, any thoughts? you care to
I don't know.
respond to what you just saw?
I'm not sure why. It could have been some trash talk, but I know it was after the Trump celebration. So after he scored that touchdown, he did the Trump dance. I don't know if Deron Payne is that political or something and maybe got butt hurt. But I don't know. I really don't know what the reason for it. He might have been running his mouth. You know, they say everything down on the field, so you don't know. I mean, it's hard for us to know exactly the reason
Speculate,
why.
yeah.
But it was after the Trump dance, and Trump was getting supposedly booed while he was naming a couple veterans and stuff like that. So which wasn't
Yeah,
a very
that's
good look.
interesting.
Which makes
Hey,
the Commanders fans look classless.
yeah, it's Washington. It's Washington. It is what it is for
Washington,
them boys. Hey, you want to know what's cool is
bunch of
yesterday
Democrats in the crowd.
McAfee had on good old Donald Trump on his show yesterday as he aired the show from a military base. If you listen to him talk, I don't know if you did watch him whenever he got broadcasted on for that Commanders game. And it actually sounds like he knows ball. He might not necessarily know all the players' names, which is also kind of funny the way he's like naming them out. You know, like he'll call them out by the position or the number rather than the actual name, which is kind of funny. But when you're in the position that he's in, I wouldn't expect him to know every player's name. There's a lot of other things I would prefer that his mind be focused on outside of trying to name Dak Prescott or Dorrance Armstrong from the defensive end of the Washington Commanders. But yeah, bro knows ball, and then yesterday just reconfirmed it on the McAfee show. They asked him. I wouldn't say they asked him like some crazy questions, but just hearing his perspective and his outlook on the league. He was very critical of the kickoff, of the way the kickoff is worked now, and I don't know, man. It's cool to me. The way I see it is you got the most powerful guy in the world. Of course, you would want him to watch your sport, at least to plug it, at least to show it to the rest of the world. Why wouldn't you? Having a president be interested in an American sport at that, I think it's nothing but a great look. And I think that I think if any league had the opportunity to bring in a president of any sort, even from the past, I think they would take advantage of that opportunity and present him with the platform. And I would assume that in that preparation, they would treat it presidential and give them, set a beautiful stage for a situation that may never ever come across your table again. So I applaud those that aren't scared to you know to do what's outside the norm because for whatever reason, and this may only be the internet, but for whatever reason, the internet makes it seem like that stuff is just not normal. We want to complain about everything. We want to complain about everything, even when it's just sport. Like sometimes, not everything has to be political, right, JB? Like sometimes it's just sport. It's just the fun in the game. It's just the noise surrounding the event that is. It's like the main character syndrome. That shit is real. Like that is the most real thing of all time, and we're seeing it with like people like Kendrick Perkins, where they get lost in the sauce and they forget that the talent is the reason we're watching. At the end of the day, that's what we got our eyes on: is the athletes and the talents themselves. So, with that being said, JB, we'll be back tomorrow to wrap up uh, our takes on week. What are we in, JB? Week 11.
Like week 10 or
Man,
something. Something like
this
that,
is what
man. You just
happens.
get lost.
This is what happens when we're in it. When we're in it, and our team isn't that good. It is tough. It is tough, but we're following along. We're trying to get all the takes. We're trying to get all the information, and we're trying to deliver them to you. We appreciate you rocking with us. We'll be back tomorrow, 6:30 Mountain Standard Time, with our closeout and our picks for the NFL Week 11 slate. And also, I'm gonna do my homework, JB, and I'll let you know what I find in the comparisons of Aaron Rodgers versus Matthew Stafford.
Not
Don't
too far
forget, be
off.
a friend. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. See ya.